IDF Special Ops veteran. Aaron, so you probably heard Nate Foy's report. I mean, it's a great thing. All these officers of the U.S. government, National Security Advisor and Secretary of State, they all start out, we support Israel's efforts to destroy Hamas, and then proceed to give them all kinds of advice. How long, how much precision, as though the Israelis don't want to have precision, how many casualties, as though the Israelis really want to have more casualties. Of course they don't. And the whole thing's going to take a little longer, but that's what you've been telling us. They need to have intelligence to do the right job. I mean, I don't know. I ask this question again. When will they stop meddling and just let the IDF do what it knows how to do and what it's going to do?
Well, Larry, they're going to stop meddling once they realize that the thicker the handcuffs they put on Israel and the longer it takes for Israel to destroy Hamas, I mean physically and ideologically, the sooner it's going to affect U.S. national security. And what I mean by that is the longer it takes for Israel to topple Hamas, the more the craziness is going to continue to build here in the United States. And I'm going to cut back to what FBI Director Christopher Wright said. He has not seen this level of threat since 9/11. And the longer Israel's at war with Hamas and the longer the handcuffs are on, the more active shooters we're going to see start popping up here. The more pressure is going to be on U.S. law enforcement to be able to respond to multiple threats at multiple locations at the same time. And the more the U.S. is probably going to start moving to get Biden out of that White House and get somebody in there that understands the threat on the micro level and the macro level, and that's someone who's tough and understands that Israel is an expert in counterterrorism. And when Bibi gets on television and he says, hey, we got to destroy Hamas, he means it. And so right now what's happening, Larry, if I can jump into this next piece, is all of the aggressive operations that Israel was conducting in the north of Israel before the ceasefire were very effective. I'm sure there were casualties, but let me make it clear. We're at war. Israel's at war. Civilians get killed. It's no different in Afghanistan. It's no different than Iraq. It's no different than any other country in the Western world that deliberately tries to kill the enemy while limiting risk to civilians. Israel falls in line with that international law. Problem here is that the U.S., the White House, wants to have its cake and they want to eat it too. And it's slowing down operations. And so Israel is now having to pull back those really successful air campaigns, which, by the way, Larry, that Sheldag JTAC unit, that Joint Terminal Attack Controller unit that puts those missiles in selectively, I keep going back to that. That unit is the Iron Dome of the Palestinians. We're not lobbing missiles into Gaza from the Israeli side in southern Israel, trying to take out civilians. We've got commandos risking their lives to protect and create a protective umbrella for the Palestinian people. The Iron Dome, Sheldag, the Israeli JTAC Air Force unit, is the Iron Dome of the Palestinians. Problem now is that the safe zones that were created, Hamas is going in there. But let me say this, Larry. All of southern Gaza is now filled with 15,000, 20,000 Hamas terrorist militants wearing civilian clothing. So the numbers that are being ported to who? To the United Nations.
BS.
It's all nonsense. It's all BS.
It's all BS.
I don't want to say it on TV.
No,
it's all BS,
I'll
Larry.
say it for you. It's all BS. Everybody knows it's BS. It's astonishing to me that these official organs, the UN, forget about it. But it's astonishing to me that the White House would use this stuff, too, because of what you just said. Anyway, Prince Aaron Cohen, I got the message. I got the message. You know, you don't know who to believe. But at the end of the day,
That's right.
Everybody tells me, people on the ground in Israel, people in the United States who are close to people on the ground in Israel, everybody tells me the Israelis are behind the IDF. Take the politics out. It's not about Mr. Netanyahu, who happens to be he's an old friend of mine, but take that out. The Israeli people are behind the IDF.
You know what? They jumped on Golda Meir also, Larry, back in the 70s during the Yom Kippur War. It's the same song and dance. Thank God for Kissinger. He was kind of on, he got down with Israel when the time mattered. And at the end of the day, Biden needs to shut his mouth. Blinken needs to stop the yapping. Let Israel go to work. Let Israel finish it. You and I will keep delivering the message. Cohen and Uncle Larry, we ain't going nowhere. That's
it. There'll be much more coming. We'll hit it again next week. Again, thank you, Aaron Cohen. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you, Larry.